Hello, Year 3. Welcome to week 1 of Term 6, so our last term of the year. My goodness me, that's come around so quickly. And this is the first tutorial from me this term. So we're going to start off looking at something that I am going to ask you to do Monday and Tuesday of this week. Your SPAG work involves you casting your minds back and thinking about the conjunctions that we've been working on. We did quite a bit on subordinate conjunctions last term. Those were the ones where we needed to choose from, we used the acronym I saw a wabub, and if you remember, that stands for if, I've got to remind myself now, I think we had if, since, as, when, although, while, after, etc, etc. So these are the words, the conjunctions that we would use if we are going to connect two parts of a sentence that consists of one main clause. That's our independent clause. That is a clause that makes sense on its own. It has a verb and it has a noun in it, so it's got a subject, it makes sense. And then we want to add a little bit more information that only makes sense when it's linked to that main clause. So our subordinate conjunctions, those are one type of conjunction we're going to look at this week, and that's when you will use the conjunctions like if, since, when, although, because, those sorts of words. Okay, so we're going to look at those, some examples of those. We're also going to look at a second type of conjunction, and those are the coordinating conjunctions. They're called coordinating conjunctions because they coordinate between two parts of a sentence that are of equal importance. So you might have two clauses, two main clauses that make sense, two independent clauses, and we are going to use a joining word, a conjunction, to link them together. Equally, we could have put a full stop in between and use them as two separate sentences. So we will look at those types of conjunctions as well, the coordinating conjunctions. And sometimes we use the acronym fanboys. That stands for and, but, nor, but, or, yet, and so. We generally only use and, but, or, and so, but I know that some of you will have heard of fanboys. So those are for our coordinating conjunctions. And then we've got a third type that we're going to look at, and these are a bit special because these types of conjunctions work in pairs. These are our correlative conjunctions. Correlative means working together, and so we will use two words in the sentence and they rely on each other. So let's look at some examples. You will have some sheets to do on Monday and Tuesday of this week, not quite this sheet, using different types of conjunction, but something similar to this I have saved for you for your home learning. So you will be asked to choose to write a sentence, or at least the sentences are there if you can print the sheet out, and to pick the right conjunction to use. I'm not going to go through them all with you because there's so many and they're all different, but what I really want you to think about is how you can play around with the sentences, and you can, in so many examples, in so many cases, you can use more than one. So I want you to play around with them, say them out loud, have a go at using the different types of conjunctions that are on the sheet and seeing which one you think sounds best. So for example, if we look at, there's a sentence on one of the sheets that says, I went to bed very late, then you need to choose a conjunction, and then you've got the second clause, I am tired today. I went to bed very late, something, I am tired today. So we can almost always use the word and, I went to bed very late, and I am tired today, or we might be able to use something different. I went to bed very late, so I am tired today, therefore I am tired today. Have a play around with it. Say all of the sentences, say the sentences using different conjunctions and see which ones make sense. If we move to look at the subordinating conjunctions, an example of that could be the clause, my dad has fixed my bike, something, I can take it to the park. My dad has fixed my bike, therefore, or so that, or maybe probably so that would make sense, wouldn't it? So that I can take it to the park. What about the others I have to choose from? Although. My dad has fixed my bike, although I can take it to the park. No, that one doesn't make sense. My dad has fixed my bike because I can take it to the park. Not really. It would make sense if it was the other way around. I can take it to the park because my dad has fixed my bike. Play around with these sentences and see what you think. You might change the order of those clauses like I just did. Just think about saying them out loud and which ones sound better to you. Okay, so let's do an example of a correlative conjunction. So a sentence I've got, I'm not sure, something, I'm going to the match, something not. I'm not sure if I'm going to the match or not. So I've got if and or. I'm not sure whether I'm going to the match or not. So I could use whether and or. Have a play around. That's the most important thing, really. Say it out loud, see which one sounds the best, and stick to the one that you like, the one that you think makes sense, and perhaps is the most ambitious choice. Okay? Right, well, good luck with them all, and have a good week. I will see you next week. Bye.